Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. Today I have a question from one of my YouTube members. His name is Cameron. Cameron's been supporting the channel for over a couple months now. First of all, thank you, Cameron, for doing that. Thank you for supporting YouTube and helping me continue to do this. But also, I want to say, I saw your question, and he was asking about how to invest in the game with a budget of say 50 bucks or 100 bucks a month. I want to give some good advice on that, and I've got some interesting thoughts that I think will help. And I wanted to do it in a video because I know for a fact, Cameron, you're not the only one who's wondering that. So thank you for the question. I'm going to try and get into it here. I hope I add a lot of value to you in this response, okay? Before I do that, my name's Dwayne, and I go by Infidel 1258, but you can call me 12. We cover Splinterlands all day, every day, because it's changed my life. And I think it can change yours. And one of the ways that it's going to do so is by wrestling with the idea of extracting maximum value for your time and attention. And you need to, that is done by first understanding that your time is worth something, and that in this game, Splinterlands, which is blockchain based and which provides cryptocurrency and non-fungible token rewards for that, and the time you're spending there, there's ways to grow the reward and extract more by and at the same time by putting in less. There's ways to do that. And that's what I want my channel to be about. So thank you for the question, Cameron. Let's get into it. So Cameron specifically said, 12, my budget is like 50 to 100 a month. What would you recommend my approach be to grow my account to compete in whatever league I'm in? Constantly renting isn't working, and I'm trying to maximize the airdrop reward. I totally agree. Renting is not the play. And I want to talk about that first, and then I want to speak about what the budget could utilize. Okay. So renting's not the way. And here's what I say about renting in Splinterlands. For those who don't know and who are new to my channel, you can rent cards. Those cards can be used. Once you play with them, you can grind in the game and earn cryptocurrency and non-fungible tokens. The question is it financially viable to pay cost to rent cards to then try and earn value out of the game? And it's conceivably possible. I talk to people all the time who do it. But the question remains, is it worth it? Because it's not just a zeros and ones. Like you can't just say my rentals cost $1, I made $1.01, therefore it's profitable. It's far more complicated because the season rewards you receive are going to be random in value. Daily rewards you're getting are going to be random in value. The appreciation of those cards makes it difficult to weigh cost versus reward, because the cost of the card on the time you receive it is going to be different than it will be in 3 or 4 years. How do you measure that? And lastly, and something people fail to acknowledge regularly, is that their time is being spent on searching out the rentals, on managing, finding good rentals for a good price, learning how to implement that deck wisely and effectively. All of that is an expense of time, and your time is worth something. What my channel is kind of all about. And so if you don't fully understand those costs, I don't think you can properly weigh the benefit associated with renting. And I think it's far too complicated to simply say, I made $1 and a penny, it cost me $1 to rent it, therefore I'm ahead of the game. No, I think it's way more complicated than that. And most people are renting, in a way that is not cost effective. I think rentals should be utilized only when you need one card for one day or for one reason. Like you entered a tournament and you want to succeed at that, you rent one card that really helps you. I don't like renting decks. And so I strongly agree, do your best to move away from a rent to win model and move into, acquiring assets that are your own, that you can play with, and that will themselves appreciate with time and attention, right? Okay. So with that said, how can you put together $50 to $100 a month in a way that would be meaningful and deliver rewards? The first thing is understanding that there are simple ways that are probably high risk, then there are easier ways that are probably more prudent, definitely more prudent, and longer term. I'm going to tackle the kind of more risky way first, because it's kind of easy to explain. It's by buying DEC. If you wanted to, and if you already had, a silver deck or something, you're playing the game and you're enjoying what you're doing, you want to climb higher, one thing you could do with an investment of $50 a month would be to go and buy DEC. if you took out, you're putting $50 into DEC right now today, based on the current price of DEC, you'd be getting about 16,000 DEC for $50. And that would equate to roughly 1.5 SPS per day, every day, until the end of the airdrop, which is 180 days, 6 months. So you might say to me, by putting in $50 today, you're going to generate what is amount to like 15 cents worth of SPS, constant SPS generation every day for the next 180 days. That is an interesting conversation because DEC could appreciate, SPS could appreciate. I think they probably both will, at least in the short term. I think beyond the SPS airdrop, I would expect DEC to be falling greatly. But in the next 6 windows, my speculation would be that price will go up. That's entirely speculation. It's very risky. I don't recommend this to people who are just getting started and who are looking to grow their account like you are, Cameron. But I needed to tackle this because if I don't, someone's going to say, what about DEC at the end of it? Okay. So it is an interesting option. It is creating essentially a faucet for you that would generate a certain amount of revenue, very small at first, but every month it's another $50 and it's going to be more and more SPS. And then the SPS is probably going to appreciate in the future, especially if you're willing to be patient and say in 4 years, I think almost certainly going to. So it's an option. I'm not telling you to do it. I don't recommend this for somebody who's just getting started. The play would be, as far as I'm concerned, to buy cards. So let's talk about that. How could you buy cards? So you could come in here and buy Chaos Legion packs. You could come in here and buy 12 Chaos Legion packs? And then you'd get 60 cards inside. No, don't do that. Again, this is risky also, but at least it's cards. These would be playable cards that you'd be able to use that would help you climb higher. They would provide collection power to your account. All of that is good, and that's what I'm going to recommend you. Get cards that provide collection power, these are assets in your portfolio that can appreciate with time. Not to mention you can use them and they'll garner daily and season rewards. Okay, so cards are definitely the way, but packs is not. When you say $50 budget, I say to you, no, that's too small to be assured a meaningful reward. If you open 12 packs and you find, a random supply of common and rare cards, which is all you're really promised, that's not going to pay off dividends. It's actually going to come in, can be less meaningful than the $50 would have been spent in the marketplace. So that's my tip. That's where we're going. We're not going to buy Chaos Legion packs. We're not going to buy DEC. We're not going to buy SPS. We're going to buy cards off the peer-to-peer marketplace. And we're going to start by acquiring summoners. Now, you didn't mention what level you're playing at, but the question is, what level are you aiming for? Are you looking for silver? Are you looking for diamond? Are you looking for, gold? What are you looking for? You got to get those summoners at the appropriate levels. And I would strongly focus on the cheapest first. Absolutely. Loan is fine. Varicelatia is fine. $300 for a max level copy. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, you don't have 3. You got $50. What about this one? $44.85 for a level 3. That's pretty interesting. Only $2.99 per BCX. For this one right here, you could come in and probably buy 25 of them. You could buy a level 3 for even cheaper of General Sloan. Come in and buy them both. Get a water splinter. Get a life splinter at level 3. Now you're going to be aiming at silver with that sort of investment, right? I don't know what league you're currently playing in, but whether you're aiming at silver or whether you're aiming at gold, the point is start with summoners, understand what you have, and grow that. If you're aiming at gold and you only have level 4 summoners, you need them to move to level 6. Start acquiring one of them. Focus on one of them first. Get one of them to that highest level that you would need. At gold, it's going to be level 6. At silver, it's going to be level 4. And these are for the rare summoners that we're talking about. Understanding what you have and what you need is going to set certain goals for you. And then the $50 has to be spent in a precise manner to grow your account as effectively as possible to stretch each dollar. Summoners are going to be the one way that you're going to make maximum impact on your account, because those summoners are going to impact all the monsters you're able to unlock. So the first question would be, are your summoners at the appropriate level for your goals? And I think the answer is probably no. So then choose one of them and make it reach its goal. If you're at level 5 Sloan and you're aiming at gold, you need to get them up to level 6. If you're at 4 Vader Salacia or whatever blue summoner, if you're using Kelia and you're at level 4 but you want to play in gold, you need to get her to level 6. That's the first step. But once you get the summoners in order, you need to then focus on tanks and carry cards, and then supports in that order: tanks, carry cards, support. And you're going to be focusing on one ace team first. You can start with white because it's cheapest, or whatever one you're closest to. Like if you're working on a gold team and you have one summoner who's at level 5 and it happens to be Drake of Arnak or it happens to be Pyre, I'm saying to you, spend the least amount of money to get that one splinter to the highest level, to that 6th level. So if it was Pyre, I might come in here. If I wanted to get to level 6 and you needed 60 BCX and you had 45, or you had 40 of them and you were at level 5, yeah, I'd probably buy 20 copies at $6 because that's where I'd put a bid in to get that amount. But then again, because Pyre is individually $5.60, I might just liquidate or try to liquidate my Pyre for something around the $3.50 range. Why? Because I could come in and I could buy Tarsa for roughly at whatever level I want for around that price, $3.50 per. You see? So this is all about understanding where your goal is and getting your summoners to that goal for the least financial expenditure. I'm talking about theoretically selling a Pyre because it sells for more dollar per BCX than something like a Tarsa, or for that matter, maybe even selling the Pyre and then moving into a Sloan because it's like half the price. And then what could you do with that value? So figure out your goals, see where your holes are, and then once you understand that beginning phase, figure out your summoners, doing so as cost effectively as possible, selling certain summoners if you felt that money could be better used in other ways. Then once you've got your summoners sorted, tanks, carry cards, supports, in that order, on that one splinter, because you need an ace team. If it's red, it's white, it's black, I don't care. You need one of your teams to be your ace that carries you, and you need two or three others that are going to be good, but they don't need to be as good. That's the recipe. And that's what you're going to be doing with the $50 every month until you reach the target that you want, and then you're going to set a new goal. Maybe you're done once you reach gold, and you feel like you're constantly able to reach gold, and every season it's good. Maybe that's truly it, and you're done. Or maybe now you got a taste for diamond, and you want to start setting new goals. But this is the process of growing your account, and this is how you would do it with 50 or even $100 a month. It absolutely is deeply analytical, because you need to go through and understand where you are at and how you could move from point A to to your point B, which was your hope, your goal. Okay, that's what I would give you. That's the advice I would give you. And if you wanted some more direct communication on that, you can reach out to me on Discord. You're one of the members. I'm happy to. I can't necessarily do it all the time, but absolutely, if you send me a message on Discord telling me exactly what summoners you're at, and maybe we could talk a little bit back and forth about how to unpack that a bit in detail. Hope that's really helpful, not just to you, but to everybody. And guys, thank you for your time and attention. I hope you're having an amazing day. God bless.